Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a leadership concept with a pretty wild name, quantum leadership. The whole idea is that you can build these amazing, sustainable, successful organizations by starting not with processes, but with our own humanity. So let's dive in and break down what that actually means.
I know what you're thinking. Quantum physics? Seriously? What in the world does that have to do with running a business? And you know what? That's a totally fair question. The answer, it turns out, isn't really about physics at all, but about a powerful metaphor for a new way of thinking about leadership.
Okay, so the first thing you really got to get is that this isn't about applying the literal laws of physics to the boardroom. Nope. Instead, quantum leadership is using the name as a stand-in for a whole new paradigm, a totally fresh way of looking at leadership that aims to create organizations that are truly sustainable and successful for the long haul.
So where does this new paradigm even begin? Well, it's not with spreadsheets or org charts. It starts with something way more fundamental, the human connection. That's right. The quantum idea here is all about looking at leadership on its most fundamental level, kind of like how quantum physics looks at the tiniest building blocks of the universe. And when it comes to leadership, that fundamental building block is our own humanity.
And this quote from the source material, man, it just nails it. The idea is that modern leadership has gotten so wrapped up in processes and metrics that we've kind of forgotten our most powerful tool, just being human. This is all about leading with empathy, with intuition, with authenticity, not just from a rule book. Okay, so if the big goal is to reconnect with our human nature, how in the world do we actually do that? Well, this framework suggests that leaders need a new tool, something it calls the inner script.
I mean, that's the real question, right? It's one thing to talk about being more human, but how do you put that into practice when you're in a high-pressure environment? The framework says there's a specific piece of knowledge that's been missing all along.
And here it is, the solution, the missing script. It's such a cool idea. This isn't some literal script you have to memorize. Think of it more like a new internal framework, like upgrading your mental operating system. It helps you prioritize self-awareness and really understand what makes people tick, so your actions are guided from the inside out.
And this slide, wow, it lays out the contrast perfectly. Traditional leadership, it's often laser-focused on all the external stuff. Processes, metrics, managing tasks. But the human leader approach, it flips that. It shifts the focus inward. It's all about cultivating that internal script and connecting with who you are as a person before you even try to manage the world outside.
Now here's the really crucial part. All this internal work isn't just for your own personal development. It's directly tied to getting real, tangible, external results for the entire organization. Let's see how that works. So when you start applying this missing script, you develop a very specific mental ability. This is the power to influence your environment, not by shouting commands, but through a deep, genuine understanding. It's about anticipating needs, getting people to collaborate, and navigating all that complexity with real clarity, creating alignment instead of just forcing it. And let's be super clear, this is not just some feel-good exercise. This inner shift is designed to create a direct, measurable impact on everything, from how engaged your team is, all the way to the bottom line. The introspection leads directly to impact. And check this out. This slide just maps out the whole journey for us. It's such a clear, logical flow. You start by connecting with your core humanity. That opens the door for you to learn the missing script. Then you apply the mental ability that comes from that script, and boom, the final result is a thriving, sustainable organization. It all connects. So what's the end game here? What are we really trying to do? It's all about becoming a leader who doesn't just manage chaos, but actually shapes their environment. Someone who can guide people with wisdom, build relationships that last, and create an organization that thrives not just next quarter, but for years and years to come. If you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Quantum leadership is, at its heart, an inside-out approach. The big idea is that the most powerful way to shape your external world is to first get a handle on your internal one. And that brings us to our final question, and this one's for you to take away. What's the missing script in your own leadership? What new mindset could unlock not just your potential, but the entire future of your organization? It's a powerful thought to chew on. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.